by the name of Salesforce Hulk. We will also know me by the name of Salesforce Hulk, and I'm also, I also run S2 Labs, which is a Salesforce training company, with which we started our careers with. I have Vishwajit Srivastava over here with me, who is the CTO at Syntexa. He's the brain behind the technological things that happens here at Syntexa, and he has been a great geek out here to help anybody and everybody to do whatever they want to do with technology. Before moving ahead, I would like to showcase a forward-looking statement which states something like this. Please do not make any buying or purchasing decisions based on the information presented into this webinar. This is purely for informational and educational purposes. Please do refer to the documents provided by Salesforce or any other platform if we use the name of that platform to refer to the actual features and capabilities that they offer, along with the pricings that they provide, and do consult the account executive in order to give me a second. Your laptop is absolutely visible there, so you shift it somewhere else.
Sure.
No, you do it right now. It's not still there. You do it a little more. You can see it right there.
I think I will be a little bit better, I guess, now.
No.
Not better. It's better now?
No. Yes. Please do not make any buying or purchasing decisions before discussing anything with the account manager or the other account executives of the platform that you want to buy the licenses for. Syntexa is a Salesforce Crest Gold Consulting partner. We have a team of more than 450 people who is expert into technologies like Salesforce, AWS, ServiceNow, Google Cloud, and whatnot. We have amazing, and by the way, most of them are certified developers or consultants into their respective practices. The one thing that makes Syntexa a unique partner of Salesforce is its cross-cloud and multi-cloud practices. What that means is that we have practices for almost all of the clouds of Salesforce. We just don't specialize into one sales cloud or service cloud. We have practices for marketing cloud as well, commerce cloud, CPQ, field service, lightning. You name it in Salesforce and we have it. We are also an approved ISV partners, App Exchange partner, cloud reseller partner, link partner of Salesforce. And we also have partnerships with other cloud vendors like Google Cloud, AWS, Microsoft, ServiceNow, and Nintex. And yeah, here we are, both of us. Now let's talk about the agenda for today. Meanwhile, I'll ask my team if they have some questions. Are you guys okay? So the first thing that we will be discussing or will be having a conversation about is going to be understanding APIs and integrations in today's digital landscape. Then we're going to talk about what exactly is MuleSoft. Then we're going to talk about MuleSoft Anypoint platform in detail and the features available with it. Then we're going to talk about MuleSoft RPA, Composer, and Code Builder. Then what all AI-driven automation can we do with the help of MuleSoft. Then intelligent document processing with MuleSoft. And then we're going to look into the live demo of MuleSoft. And then we're going to talk about the real-world examples of successful API implementations with MuleSoft that different brands have done. Just give me a second. Then of course we're going to talk about how to choose the right implementation partner, and then we'll begin with the Q&A session. Let's start with understanding APIs and integration into today's digital landscape. So see, most of the audience that we have on here on Salesforce Health channel and who join our webinars as well, is what we see is pretty much technical, right? So you do understand what exactly integration is all about and what exactly the role of API is when it comes to integration. But today we're going to explain it in a language which like 10-year-old or 15-year-old will be able to understand at what exactly API does and what exactly how important integration is in today's digital landscape. Nowadays, anything and everything that we do is all about using the right systems, platforms, and applications. And there is no one single application which is doing everything out there, or which supports the needs of every business function that you have. You need you need to have the best of the best technology for anything and everything that you want to do into your business. And in order to utilize the best of everything, you need to integrate all of those different applications and systems together. And whenever you want to integrate different applications, systems, devices, or anything together, the need for APIs arises, and that's exactly how it gets solved. So, what is an API? API is an application programmable interface or programming interface, whatever you want to make, you want to call it, which basically defines the way how one application or one system can communicate with another and share data. I mean, whether it can send the data or get the data, or it can also initiate some actions into different applications, or also can receive actions that it needs to that the current application needs to perform, which are getting generated or which are getting initiated by a different application or a different system. And that's exactly what API does. And it's not a new thing, of course. For all along, for whatever applications we have been using so far, whenever we wanted any two different applications to communicate with each other, all what we did was created an API and then called the API from the other one where we wanted the communication to happen. But it's a very technical process, and a lot of developers who are not, or a lot of people, business people even get scared sometimes when they hear the term integration or API or something like that. Their brain just freezes when they hear the term API and integrations. But the point is, it should not be like that, and that's exactly what application platforms like MuleSoft had understood way early, because they were able to identify that okay, this is going to be a thing. You cannot have a single application to do everything, and even if you have it, you might need some other applications to be integrated with it, which are not of your own. What I mean by that, let's say you want to get some data from a government related application. In that case, you do not own the application, or do not have the code of the application, or like code of the government application that I'm talking about. But still, you want to communicate with that government application. How will you do that? With the help of API. Let's say you want to fetch the data of the conversion rates from a different website. So how will you fetch that data? With the help of an API. Because of course, you cannot create your whole own system to calculate what conversion conversion rate is for USD to whatever EUR today. So that is why we need APIs, right? Because different applications perform different functions, and in order to put all of those functions and systems together and create a bigger system which serves the purpose of the business or serves the purpose of that system or application, you need to create APIs. But you need you need amazing expertise of development in order to set the integrations. And it's not just about setting the right integrations, it's also about making sure that whatever the data interchange is happening, or whatever is the purpose of the integration, it is secure also, it is being managed well also, and there are no losses that are happening to the data, or there are no challenges that we are facing with these integrations. And that, it's creating an API and then creating an API which is secure, compliant, governed, and absolutely managed is a different thing. And a lot of developers lack the skills of creating an API which does all of the above. So in order to manage all of these things, platforms like MuleSoft have been created, which can be utilized very, very easily by the businesses or anybody who wants to use it, to integrate their different applications with each other, and that too without writing much lines of code, or sometimes even no line of code.
Yeah.
Right? So that's exactly what integration platforms like MuleSoft does. Of course, I'm going a little ahead, which I should not, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is about. Now let's talk about the key challenges in securing APIs and integrations. I was talking about developers not having the expertise of making the most secure APIs and making sure that they're managed and governed really well. So now let's look at the key challenges that we face while securing the APIs and integrations. Okay, so number one is unauthorized access. I mean, you need to follow the right protocols in order to provide access only to the right individuals of the right data, right? So you do not want a tier 2 level user to get the access of the data which only the admin should have, right? And that's exactly what and that's I think data exposure. But unauthorized access basically means that you have created an API, but you have but that endpoint is open. Anybody and everybody who can hit that endpoint can access and get the data, which only a few people who should have the authorized access to it have. So that's one thing. Lack of standardization. There is no standardization that is there in terms of the data interchange and in terms of the in terms of creating it. Then comes data exposure. There's a lot of data exposure. That this is the example of tier 2 user and the admin level access. Then shadow APIs, vulnerabilities, injection attacks, risk of self-hosted middleware, using master accounts for integrations, and unwanted scopes in API integrations and production environment usage. All of these challenges, are big enough challenges when you create APIs and integration. And all of these things needs to be addressed. And in order to address all of these things, you need to have a developer or anybody who's writing down the code to create the API needs to have amazing expertise in integration in order to tackle all of these challenges, or in order to keep the API secure from all of these challenges. And that is rare to find, of course. And if you do, that's also very expensive. So that's exactly where platforms like MuleSoft get into the picture. So now let's talk about what exactly this MuleSoft thing is all about. Meanwhile, any guesses? Anyone who's attending the webinar can tell us what exactly is this? I mean, in 3-4 words, if you can explain that. All right, let's go ahead. We do not have any, right?
There is a lag between what we are saying and what they are saying. Yeah.
So should I stop? Okay. I think I should continue. If there'll be some questions, I'll answer it later. The questions are about, is this the right time to switch for someone who is 3 years experience? Are you serious? Okay. Seems like. MuleSoft, which was founded in 2006 as an open source project, later got acquired by Salesforce in 2018. Of course, for huge money, because it's Salesforce who is acquiring it. Connects applications, data, systems together. Exactly it just does it with so much ease, and also make sure that it's compliant. It follows the right protocols. It solves all of the challenges that we just discussed. Has gained popularity or has gained a lot of popularity because of its amazing capabilities and amazing tools that it provides in order to do that integration, which we are going to discuss later on. But typically what it does is it helps you integrate applications together to interact with each other, systems together to work along with each other, share data with each other, and just connects everything. If you want a connected world, you need this. That's all what it is about. And it does that so easily and so effectively that you do not have to write a single line of code. That's the beauty about it. MuleSoft typically helps you manage integrations. It helps you do API management, and it also helps you do automation. When I say automation, what I mean to say by that is low code automation that you need to do, and robotic process automation if you want to do, or some flows that you want to run with the help of MuleSoft. And when I talk about integrations, you can do these integrations with some with the help of point and click tools provided by MuleSoft, and also with the help of IDEs. I mean, if you want to integrate some applications using IDE and something like that, or some B2B EDIs or something like that, you can also do that. And it also provides you some pre-built industry solutions, which are very high in demand, with the help of which you can just quickly configure that on top of the MuleSoft platform and integrate different applications together. And of course, it now everything in Salesforce is AI, so it also helps you do a lot of AI related things, which we are going to talk about later. Here are some stats. Faster time to market for the API reuse rate is very good, and and especially when you use platforms like MuleSoft, it helps you maintain or it helps you reduce the cost of maintenance of API. You got an API developed by X developer when he was there in your organization, but now that X developer is not there anymore. Now there is a Y developer who has never touched that API because he was informed that anything that is working, please never touch it. And that guy is now trying to change something that you asked him to change, and everything that was supposed to be working since morning is now not working, and it is impacting your business significantly. That is something that really does not happen with MuleSoft, and hence there's not much dependency onto the one who has implemented the integration, because everyone implements it in a different way. But when you use standardized functionality or standardized tools or platforms like MuleSoft to do it with the pre-built solutions, it's just very easy. And also, if you want to track how is it performing, what is the usage of the same and all of these things, you can easily manage it, and it reduces the cost of maintaining the API as well. So that's what it is. Now let's talk about the product suite of MuleSoft. So it starts with Anypoint platform, which is going to take the major part of it. Then there is MuleSoft Composer, then MuleSoft RPA, then Salesforce Flows, and then there is intelligent document processing. We are going to discuss each one of them in detail now. So let's start with MuleSoft Anypoint platform and features for API security. Let's hear Vishwajit on that.
Sure. So MuleSoft Anypoint platform is basically the platform that MuleSoft provides, which is a superset or an umbrella of functionalities and capabilities that MuleSoft is providing, which allows us to kind of maintain and run our APIs and also kind of manage them. It involves a lot of things which provides us what Shrey explained, the security, the monitoring, and the creation as well, which kind of is something that people and businesses are looking for, which they typically don't get. And Anypoint platform provides us that. Anypoint platform has kind of evolved from what we initially got in 2006, the Mule ESB. It has evolved from there and become a huge platform, which is providing us the capability of creating our own integrations, managing our runtime environments, basically the servers, managing our API gateways, managing our APIs, making sure they are compliant. So we have API governance as well on top of it, and then we have other capabilities on top of it, which allows your APIs that you have built to expose it to your customer base or your developer base. If you're a product company, you can do that. So Anypoint platform provides all of that to us. And if I talk about this. In this, we have the capability of connecting diverse data sources. We have a lot of pre-built connectors that we are going to talk about, enhance workflows and customer experiences. So we have all of that. If we look at the next slide, it kind of shows us how it looks. So if we can have that on a screen, yeah. So this particular screen, you can see like what all things comes into the picture or comes into the play when we talk about APIs and making everything possible, as Shrey mentioned. Like we have gigantic applications, huge capabilities in that.
Gigantic application.
Yeah,
where did you saw that gigantic application?
In my mind, when I see some applications which have lots and lots of capabilities, I look at them and I see like, okay, this is a gigantic application. Yeah, it is. I can see that. Yeah. So yeah, we have those kind of applications. The one super app. So it has all the capabilities. It has its own marketplace as well, payment as well.
It's not an app anymore then. It's a platform then.
Yeah, but they call it super app. So yeah, we are developing one for one of our customers. So yeah, that's I see like it's a gigantic app. Yeah. So the diagram that we are seeing on our screen, it has the capabilities of ordering something online. So it has the payment API for doing payment. It has the chatbot API. It has payment processing capabilities because we need payment processing. It has customer API, order API, CRM capabilities because we need the information about the person who is actually purchasing it or who is actually the customer. Then we have order management system. Then we have service cloud. So we have all of these things which are connected and allowing us to have that great experience that we get when we are using Amazon or some other e-commerce website to purchase something. There are different platforms. Like order management is a different platform entirely. Payment API is different entirely. The payment processing is something different entirely. Now MuleSoft helps us bring all of that together and connect it in a way where we get that great experience, and brands and organizations are able to provide us those great capabilities to us. The next up we have a diagram which kind of depicts how it all connects inside Anypoint platform. So if you can have the next diagram on the screen. Yeah. In this diagram, you can see, we have the capability of Anypoint Design Center where we can design our APIs. Then we have API Management Center where we can manage our API, how well they are performing, which server is getting how many, outages and how many errors are coming up. And then we have the Anypoint Exchange, which allows us to, integrate different things into the platform, into the mix. And all of this we can expose via Anypoint API portal. So as let's say you are a brand which has APIs provided for various capabilities, whether it be a fintech application that you may have, you want to expose the APIs. So you have a way to kind of expose them. So if you have typically seen platform where you see a beautiful documentation where you have all the APIs, authorization methods, all the endpoints that you have, the data types that they are providing, the integration method, all of that. So you have that, and you can create them using Anypoint API portals, which we will be discussing later on as well.
After looking at the beautiful documentation.
After looking at the beautiful documentation, that is for true. Okay, yeah. So first up, we have Anypoint Studio. So Anypoint Studio is the core thing which comes into the picture, which allows any integration to happen in MuleSoft. It is an Eclipse-based IDE. Eclipse is a very old tool that is still in use, which is used to create any kind of integrations that we have. In that, we can connect all different type of platforms with the help of connectors and various template as well. We'd have pre-built modules as well that we could use. We can integrate them, and which kind of enhances the productivity. You saw the metrics earlier, 76% faster time to market. So that is exactly what it is. We have connectors, we have pre-built templates, we have pre-built modules, which allows us to do that. Then we have the capability of doing data transformation as well. So we have data weave, which allows us to kind of transform the data from one platform to different platform. So one platform might be looking at first name, last name together, and another platform might be looking them at separately. So we have data weave, which kind of helps us break that and provide the data in a fashion where it requires it to be. So we have that, and we have a lot of other capabilities as well, like automated testing, error handling as well. So Anypoint Studio is that platform which allows us to do all of that. We will be seeing a brief demo of the same. Then we have Anypoint Runtime Manager. So Runtime Manager is basically, let's say you have designed your APIs, you have designed your integrations, okay? Now where you will be hosting them. So the place where you will be hosting them and how you will be managing them. The management part comes under Runtime Manager. So we have Runtime Manager, which allows managing all the servers that you are running, whether it's a cloud hub you are using, basically where MuleSoft is taking care of all the infrastructure and everything. Then we have hybrid management, you have on-premise servers as well, and you have some private servers, and you are managing them, your application accordingly. Then you have private cloud edition, where you are managing your application entirely on the private cloud, whether it be AWS, OpenStack, or Azure, or whatever it is. And then we have Runtime Fabric, which is where you have a MuleSoft agent installed into your server, which is kind of managing the server for you. So Runtime Managers allows us that access, so you have a clear view of how well your servers are performing, and you are monitoring them over there. Then we have Anypoint API Designer. So API Designer is the key thing. When I say key thing, it's basically the key part which helps us create that beautiful, beautiful documentations. In that, we will be able to kind of create, our API specification, whether it's RAML or OS or GraphQL. So RAML is a REST API markup language. OS is Open API specification. So we have the capability of creating our API documentation accordingly, where this particular API designer helps us kind of do certain I would say context aware things as well. Like you are typing in update contact, so it is automatically setting like you must be using post method in this instead of get. So it is doing all of that. Then we have mock service. So basically when you have written it, you simply click on a button and it actually verifies whether it is giving us the same response as you have mentioned in your API specification. So you have that capability. Then we have the API governance and API fragments as well. You can define an API resource, like this is how a contact would look, and you can use it again and again in different places using API fragments. So we can use that, and it is a very core thing when it comes down to designing your APIs inside MuleSoft. Then we have Anypoint Flex Gateway. So Anypoint Flex Gateway. So basically, in MuleSoft we have two types of gateways primarily: Anypoint Flex Gateway and Anypoint API Gateway or Mule Gateway, whatever you want to call it. So Flex Gateway is a gateway which allows you to have your APIs run anywhere. It need not to be inside Salesforce. It need not to be managed by. It need not to be under MuleSoft itself only. It can be anywhere. You might be hosting them on Azure. You might be hosting them on Docker as well, or some other different environments as well. Flex Gateway would simply sit in front of that server. So this might be your server. Flex Gateway is this server. So it will sit on top of it, and then it will provide the capabilities of rate limiting, authorization, governance. So it is taking care of all of that. So you have developed your APIs, but MuleSoft comes on top of it, and it kind of is covering everything and providing a secure and secure and safe gateway, which on which you can specify your own policies, your authorizations, and all the other things that you want to do. So that is API Flex Gateway. APX Mule Gateway is primarily for the integrations that you have hosted either on Cloud Hub or on Runtime Fabric. So Anypoint Flex Gateway is the newer thing which we are utilizing more often. It gives us high performance, deployment flexibility, and as I said, integration with Anypoint platform and all of that. We have that, and we can have our own policies. There are lots and lots of policies pre-built which we can simply configure, whether it's rate limiting, whether it's some kind of security or governance related or compliance related. We can use that, and if you want to create your own, we can do that as well. I'm forgetting the policies module name which we can use to create our own PK, DK. I might be saying something wrong, but yeah, I'm forgetting the name. But yeah, we have a way of creating our own policies as well. Next up, we have Anypoint API governance. So this is a place where you can specify the governance and all the compliance related things. And once you have done that, it will simply make sure all the APIs which falls under that particular governance and compliance you have configured. It will make sure that whether they are performing correctly or not, whether they are at risk or not, it is highlighting you in real time. It is allowing you to identify that when you are designing them as well. So okay, this is something wrong which I am doing. So you would not be caught blindsided when there is an audit happening and you are realizing, we did that? Oh, I didn't knew that. So you would not be in those kind of situations if you are using API governance module of MuleSoft. It will help you cover all of those things for you. It has real-time design checks. It have comprehensive compliance. It has unified management. Unified management, as you can see in the diagram. I'm not sure if you're able to see, but yeah, on the screen in the diagram, you can see, how which are in the red section, which are in the green, and which are performing normally, which are medium severity issues, which is happening. So you have all of that view for you as well. So you know how well your system is performing and where you need to act on it from a compliance perspective. If you're in healthcare or if you are in a place where you need to be very, very cautious, then it definitely helps you a lot. I have seen customers save their, but a lot in that. Yeah. Next, we have Anypoint API Manager. So API Manager is basically We have runtime manager for managing the environments. Then we have API manager for managing the APIs. It basically ensures whether the API is performing as expected or not, whether there are any error happening, whether there are any bad request happening a lot often, and all of those things we can do that. We can specify policies as well, rate limiting and transforming as well, like if you want to. And we have the capability of tracking API usage as well. We have security related things as well that we can do. And then we have lifecycle management, which we can do, like how what was the version 1, what was the version 2, what was the version 3, and we are able to maintain all of that. So if there's something's wrong in version 4, we can go back to version 3 itself only. And then we have developer portal, which allows developers and your customers to discover the APIs and identify what are the rate limitation, what are the things that they can do with it, what type of scope do they need, and all of that. And if you have any questions about anything that we are discussing, I know I have been speaking a lot. Please drop them in the comment section. I will try my best to answer all of them. Next up, we have API Experience Hub. So API Experience Hub is basically once you have designed that API using API Designer, you want a beautiful view. So
beautiful one.
So you get that with Anypoint API Experience Hub. Using this, you can have your own UI built for your APIs, which you can modify as well, which would allow your customers to identify, okay, what needs to happen, how it needs to happen. It also helps you onboard your customers as well onto your APIs, guiding them in a way where they are able to make the most out of it. And then we have feedback and collaboration while you are making it. You can collaborate and identify what are the things that we need to take care of. Then we have Anypoint Code Builder. So Anypoint Code Builder is something, which is something new, which I believe is going to replace the Anypoint Studio, which is the Eclipse-based IDE. This IDE, Anypoint Code Builder, is based on Visual Studio Code. And it is also providing us the capability of not only using VS Code, also run on cloud environments as well, Cloud IDE basically. So you need not to have your system with you all the time. You can simply use Cloud IDE and do your code and everything. So imagine you are doing some staycation or you are, wandering somewhere in Hawaii or in, somewhere. You can do all of that with your laptop. You do not need the same laptop. You can simply open it, have the Cloud IDE open up, and you can do all of the things that you want to do. So you have that capability. And along with it, there are a couple of things which we get on top of it with Code Builder. So the first one is Anypoint Studio does not have the great possibility of collaboration, team collaboration, but in Code Builder you have that, and you would be able to utilize it more easily and more flexibly. So which definitely helps businesses in that. And then we have the capability of just a second. Yeah, we have the capability of running it anywhere, wherever we want to. But then there are certain limitations as well, because Anypoint Code Builder was released, I believe 2 years or 1 year ago, 1.5 years, or like 18, 24 months ago itself only it was released. So there are certain things which it is lacking in as compared to Anypoint Studio, but I believe in future they would be able to cover that. A couple of them being the data weave language, we don't have that inside of it. And then we have the Mule palette, you don't have that. You have to kind of go and specify the module that you want or the connector that you want in your VS Code, which you want to utilize. So you will have to do that. But yeah, Anypoint Code Builder is going to be the future, and it is definitely allowing a lot of things which we will be doing in future. Next, we have Anypoint Connectors. So Anypoint Connectors is basically pre-built connectors which MuleSoft provides, which allows you to integrate MuleSoft with different platforms, whether it be Salesforce, ServiceNow, Workday, Jira, or SAP, any other tool. So connectors are those, and they are primarily built and provided by MuleSoft itself only. They have extensive library. They are plug and play, and you can definitely rely on them. Then we have custom connectors that we can create using Mule SDK. But yeah, typically we have connectors which are provided by MuleSoft itself only. Then we have Anypoint Exchange. So Anypoint Exchange, you can look at it like Salesforce App Exchange. Anypoint Exchange, you have the capability of having certain connectors which I mentioned. You have various integrations which are provided either by MuleSoft itself only or by the community members. Or you may have a huge organization and you may have created a integration for getting all the leads from your CRM or from your legacy system. So you want to utilize the same integration again in future as well, or within your different teams as well. So you would be publishing them on your Anypoint Exchange, and then other people within your organization would be able to utilize it. So let's say you have 5,000 people. You may have built it for some different case, and somebody is also again trying to create that. He does not need to create it from scratch. He can simply go to the exchange, see, okay, yeah, this is built, I can use it. And if he needs something addition or some kind of modification to that, somebody can do that. He can simply reach out to the person who submitted it, and he can do modifications on it and reuse the things. So reusability is the core thing which we get with Anypoint Exchange, and we have MuleSoft providing us your own organization, and you have third-party vendors providing those capabilities. They might be paid, they might not be paid. It depends. You can have your solutions published as well after review. Yeah, so that is Anypoint Exchange. Last up, we have Anypoint Partner Manager. So Anypoint Partner Manager is something which is
last on Anypoint platform.
Yeah, last on Anypoint platform, Anypoint Partner Manager. So Anypoint Partner Manager is let's take an example. You have, let's say, a manufacturing industry is there, and they have they have lots and lots of vendors. They have lots of customers as well, and they keep onboarding new vendors and new customers as well. Now they want the data of their invoices, their purchase orders, and all the other things to be synchronized in a way. So don't have to kind of do integrations from scratch again and again, from point to point, or modifying their pre-built some modules and they are modifying it. So what you will do is you will come to Anypoint Partner Manager and you will utilize it, where you would be simply specifying, okay, this is our new vendor, we are onboarding him. And then you would be specifying the type of documents that you would be pulling in. And then the electronic data interchange, EDI, you can specify you want this data to be processed and stored over here. And Anypoint Partner Manager takes care of that. So the vendor onboarding, the customer onboarding becomes very smooth, and you are able to onboard new customers, new vendors very easily. You need not to do integrations from scratch. You need not to worry about how will I integrate their platform into our platform. You would not be in that scenario. You would be much more relaxed because you have MuleSoft with you, which would actually speed up those things for you. It has partner onboarding, transaction management, integration capabilities. We have visibility and reporting, which allows you to see, okay, how well it is performing and whether, is it doing, whether we are getting the data in the right way or not. Then we have security and compliance, which allows you to make sure we are doing in a secure way and we are being compliant. If you are in healthcare industry, you want to be compliant. If you are into, payment related transactions, you want to make sure you are compliant. So it helps us do that as well. The next diagram is showcasing that only, like Anypoint Partner Manager, we can integrate different platforms, different type of vendors within our application. Then we have business partners. So we have different types of, protocols that we can use, which MuleSoft supports, whether it be HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, SFTP, AS2, AS4. So we have all of that, and Partner Manager take care of that and gives us the data in a way which our application would be able to consume, which our platform would be able to consume. So that was the last of Anypoint platform, Anypoint Partner Manager. Next we have MuleSoft RPA. So before we dive into MuleSoft RPA, I believe most of the audience that we have, as Shri mentioned, know what RPA is, but I would still like to kind of give you...
Say it in a way that any 15-year-old can understand it.
Okay. 15-year-old can understand. So let's say you have something that you want to do. What's something? Okay, let's say you have to, create records of new purchases into your order management system. You are running a website where you are selling shoes. Let's say custom, designed shoes, not custom designed, but yeah, you have shoes which you have done some kind of craft on them, and you're selling them, and you want to update those records onto your order management system. So what you would do is you would do them manually because your order management system does not support it. It's a legacy system, or it's a system which does not have APIs for that. So you will be entering them manually. You have a list of all the orders which were made. So you will be taking one order, you will be entering it in the system. Second order, you will be entering into the system. So you don't want to do that. You want to automate that. What will you do is you will use RPA, robotic process automation. So think of it from a technical perspective. It's like a script, let's call it a Python script, which is reading the data from the Excel file and then entering that data into the system, whether via web UI itself only or whether via Windows or Mac application itself only. You are identifying the XY coordinates and entering the data internally. So RPA does that. So you're not typing those 100 orders manually, you have automated it. So that is what RPA is, robotic process automation. You can do all of those things which you do typically by click there, type in this, then press enter, then save. So you are not doing that manually. A system is taking care of that. So RPA is that. Now MuleSoft RPA is that only, but MuleSoft has provided a lot of additional things on top of it. What additional things? They have provided the RPA bots, RPA workflows to be called from Composer, to be called from the Anypoint, flows itself only, Anypoint platform itself only. You can do that. You can call it from Salesforce Flows as well. So if you have certain scenarios where you want to do that, you can do that simply. And we are not limited to that. When I say not limited to that, what I mean to say is we are not limited to simply entering the values or simply typing in something into website. You can do OCR as well. You can use Amazon OCR as well. You can use on-premise OCR as well. So you would be able to do all of that. RPA basically runs on a Windows machine and a platform and a software is installed, which that software is communicating to MuleSoft and providing all of those capabilities for you, and you are able to utilize them in your flows and in your other things as well. So if I talk about automation, so yeah, we can do various task automations. It's definitely scalable. You can scale it accordingly. We can do intelligent automations using AI and machine learnings for advanced automation capabilities. It is compliant and secure. MuleSoft is taking care of that for you. And we would be seeing a demo to kind of give you a high-level idea of how it looks, how it works, so you can understand it a little bit better. Then we have MuleSoft Composer. So MuleSoft Composer is something, you are somebody which is non-technical and you do not know what and how everything works. But what you know is that whenever a lead is created or whenever a Google form is filled, I want that record to be created in Salesforce leads, and I want myself to be notified on Slack channel. You know what you want. So you will simply go to MuleSoft Composer and you would be simply providing all of that information. Like, I want this to happen. I want this to happen. And you would be able to do that because it's a simply point and click. You would be able to linking your Google Sheets and your Salesforce and your Slack, and then you will be getting all of that. I will be giving you a demo of a similar scenario itself only. You can do much, much more than that. But just a high-level idea. But yeah, these are some of the things that you can do with it. No-code integration, pre-built connectors we have. Pre-built connectors involve Salesforce, Workday, Azure, Jira, and a lot of them. I don't remember all of the names. You can see some of the name over here itself only. My bad. I didn't see the screen. Yeah, and then we have automated workflows. Next up, we have Salesforce Flows. So Salesforce has acquired MuleSoft, and MuleSoft is one of their offerings. So Salesforce Flows are able to use MuleSoft capabilities inside and in a way where it makes the most out of the automations when it comes to a CRM platform, when it comes to Salesforce itself only. You can use flows and you can call RPAs. So the scenario that I mentioned, you can simply call an RPA from flow itself only. So you would be able to utilize that. You can use flow orchestrate and call MuleSoft actions. So what flow orchestrate is, most of you may know, but if you do not, so flow orchestrate is basically calling a flow, which is calling a lot of sub flows for you. For example, somebody is onboarded into your organization. You want to do certain things. First of all, you want to notify all the departments. Second, you want a account to be created for that particular person. You want to say something?
You want to have the team introduction.
You want to have the team introduction.
You want to send them an onboarding email with an onboarding guide.
Yeah, and you want to create their different accounts with different permissions wherever you want them. So you would use Flow Orchestrate and you would create subflows for all of that, notifying all the team members, create an account and all of that. So you can do that. And within those flow orchestrate, you can call MuleSoft steps as well, which kind of create those records for you, create that particular account for you on Slack or on Jira or whatever it is. So you can do that with Flow orchestrate.
You can basically create automations inside Flow which has got something to do with MuleSoft. That's what we can do.
Very simply put, yeah. So then we have the MuleSoft Composer. So we can use MuleSoft Composer as well along with it. The diagram kind of depicts the same on the next page. The capabilities that we get. So we have process automation layer. We can do, integration, RPA, Anypoint platform, flows we have. Then we have pre-built assets as well, pre-built connectors. And then engagement layer, we can, notify them by MuleSoft itself only. Next up, we have AI-driven automation with MuleSoft. So yeah, AI is the next booming thing, and we are simply
not next booming, already bloomed up thing.
Well, bloomed up thing, and it's still going to be there for next few years, I guess.
And years only.
For the booming part.
So the traction is going to be there.
So MuleSoft has a lot of capabilities when it comes to AI. So when you talk about AI that we are seeing right now is a particular, thing which is there, but it needs two things to act upon. First, the data on which it needs to kind of do some predictions, kind of do some generative AI things or whatever it is. And the next part is activation, where it's going to use that response and activate upon. For both of those things, you would need integration because AI is not connected to both of them. So you need a way which is robust, safe, and compliant to get the data from where you need to do AI predictions and generative AI stuff and then activate on them. So MuleSoft is fit right correctly into those things, and it allows you to do all of that. So MuleSoft provides an AI-ready foundation to harness the full potential of AI as it is written over there as well. You can simply utilize that. So Salesforce has created and launched its Einstein 1 platform. So they also did the same thing inside MuleSoft as well. They provided generative flows where you simply, type in what you want to do. I want to create an integration and send leads data to or case data to Zendesk or some other platform. It basically creates that particular code for you and you can simply utilize it. So that is generative flows. It is still in beta. At the Trailhead DX, it was in closed beta, so I believe it's still in beta. I'm not sure, so a forward-looking statement. So we have the capabilities where it kind of do the data weave things as well, write SQL for you, create those integrations for you. You simply provide the necessary information, which is the authentication, endpoints, and all of that, and it takes care of that. Major part of the things, you only do the configuration things which are required on your end. Then we have intelligent document processing. So I will be giving you a demo of the same as well. So intelligent document processing is the capability where MuleSoft is allowing you to extract the data from any of the documents. Just simply specify what data you need, and you can specify how and where it can be found. And then IDP actually goes and look for that, fetches that data, gives you a confidence level, like I believe it's 75% data what you were looking for, and then you can simply utilize it. So that is IDP is. I will be giving you a demo which would help you understand a little bit better how IDP work and what IDP is. Next we have live demo of MuleSoft. So I will be quickly diving into the demo. Just give me a minute. Yeah, so I think I'm here. Just a second. Can you go back to demo screen? It will be visible now. This one, yeah. All right, so this is the demo. So this is a small demo that we have created for you. So in this demo, what we have is a particular healthcare portal where a patient has come in and patient is going to provide certain information about himself and which doctor he wants to consult to. So for example, he wants to consult to Dr. Jack Rogers. The subject is high fever and cold. I was already trying it, so yeah, I will use that. Description, I have high fever and sore throat. I would like to review my report, and we can consult me on the same. So he has provided a description, and he is going to upload a document, the lab report itself only. So I'm adding a lab report, and as soon as I click on it, a case has been created, which we can see over here. Yeah, this case has been created 9:22 p.m. Yeah, that's the correct one. And we can see all the information over here. So for the sake of this demo, what we have assumed is there are two different environments. One is the org where we are logging a case, and then there are different org where we are actually maintaining the health, where we have health cloud, and we are managing all the health cloud related data and the patient data and their cases and their queries. So we have a different org. So this org is different one, and I will be going to a different org, which is this one. And if I come over here and if I refresh it, you can see there is a new record which has been created. And if I click on it, we can see the information about, okay, what's the subject, what's the description. The document that we have created is also visible over here. The PDF file, the lab report, it's visible. If you can remove me from the screen, then the people would be able to see it. Yeah, so this attachment is here, and we have also integrated the capability of, summarizing the report. So we are using ChatGPT to summarize the report. We have provided it to ChatGPT from MuleSoft itself only. It is summarizing it for us and then giving us this response. So this is a sample report, but it is giving us this response, like it is fine, and this is essential for effective body. Overall, the results are reassuring, showing no abnormalities and cause for concern. So this report is being generated for us. Now, if I come back and let's say I want to book an appointment with Dr. Sameer Sewani. So I will simply click on it. It will open up a Calendly for me. I will...
Google killed Calendly.
Yes, that is true, by the way. Yeah, so I will be choosing a time slot, and then I will be providing the details. Let's call it test.com. Yeah. I will schedule an event. Now it will ask me for payment, because I am consulting to a doctor. I need to give payment. So on the next screen, I am providing payment information. And as soon as I click on pay, as soon as I click on pay, the payment is done. And if I come over here and if I see the Calendly, so the action, a new Calendly meeting has been created for 5:30 a.m. So that's basically a time conversion thing. And the payment is also stored over here. The payment information is also stored, the payment which has happened. So we can see how it is all coming together and how it's all connected. Now, how it all came together is we will be looking at Anypoint Studio. So over here, I created that complete integration scenarios. So we created a case create. So as soon as a new record is created, we are taking that record, querying it. We are creating a new record in a different org as I show you. We did that. And then we are also creating the same records in Snowflake as well for data warehousing purposes. Then we are utilizing the Calendly, creation as well. And this is the integration for OpenAI, where we are querying OpenAI and, having that report summary generated for us. So all of that data is being generated, and we can see that. So if I come to the Snowflake, we can see all of this information here as well. So VJ test has been created as we just created, and then case data again I am having. So I would like to review my report and consult. So all of this data is being created over here as well. And here as well, the data has been created with the payment related information. So we have all of that information available to us, and we can simply utilize that. So Anypoint Studio allowed us to do all of that. We have a lot of other capabilities as well. We have a lot of connectors that we're utilizing in this, like Salesforce connector, Snowflake, Stripe, Zoom connector. So we have different connectors that we can utilize, that we can involve and integrate and accordingly use them. Next up, I would be showcasing you. I would be showcasing you the Composer part. So for the Composer one, I need to log in. I didn't realize I got logged out. So just give me a moment. I would need an authenticator. Just a moment. Yeah, I'm all set. So in our scenario, I have created a MuleSoft Composer, which is basically what it is doing is it is simply taking a record as soon as it is created in Google Sheet. It is simply taking that record, creating a new record inside Salesforce, and then notifying the same on Slack. So I have this over here. So if you can see, yep. So I will be giving a new entry. Tester.com. So now what will happen is the MuleSoft Composer will simply take up this data, create a record inside Salesforce, and also notify us on Slack itself only. So it will take some time to do that. And once it's done, we will have a notification on Slack itself only from the MuleSoft itself only. So if I show you, meanwhile this is happening, how easy it is to create it. So Google Sheet to SF. So this is a simple flow that we can create, where we have created a trigger on new row in Google Sheet. As soon as a new row is entered, it will simply create a record inside Salesforce. I have specified what data to go where, like age will go over here, email will go over here, first name, last name. And then I have also specified the Slack message which would be sent. So a Slack message would be sent as well. So we can simply see how easy it is to create, and there is no code involved into it. And then we can use certain templates. As I mentioned earlier, there are lots and lots of templates that we can use. So there are templates for a change request in Salesforce associated with Jira requests. So as soon as Jira issue is updated, we want to update a record inside Salesforce, we can do that. There are hundreds of templates available that you can use according to your needs, and you can obviously create them on from scratch as well. So like if I click on from scratch, it will create a flow for us, and you can specify whatever you want to do, like which system event you want to trigger it on, Salesforce, Sage, Microsoft 360, Google BigQuery, Marketo, whatever it is, you can do that, and then you can specify what action needs to happen and all of that. Just a second, I think it might be working. Just a second, I think Slack is not hacked. Yeah, so as you can see, the record has been created, Micros has been created. If I go to the patient information, and if I refresh the record, not the recently one, but the all one, yeah, you can see at 9:28 a record was created. This is the record. So yeah, this is MuleSoft Composer, and you can use it as per your needs, and you will have that information. Next thing I would like to show is the RPA one. So I'm using a Mac, and as you can see, I am having a VM connected, which I'm utilizing for running the RPA. So it is a Windows machine. So this is an RPA. In this RPA, you can do all of those things which I mentioned. Like you can have certain apps that you can control. You can control the screen as well. You can do some kind of document processing as well. With AWS, you have Excel operations that you want to do. You have file operations that you can perform on top of it. Flow controls. Then you have mail, MuleSoft IDP. Then you have OCR, and then you also have the web automation, like you want to check a web element and all of that. So there are a lot of things that you can do with the RPA, which allows you to save your time and remove the repetitive tasks that you are doing. So for the sake of this demo, what I have done is I have created a scenario where I am simply, extracting the data from an Excel. So if I double click on it, so it is extracting the data from an Excel file, and then it is sending an email to me. So if I click on send email, so it is sending an email to me. This is my email. So I will simply run this. So you can see what will happen. So I have started executing it. So it will start executing. Meanwhile, I will show you the email. So this is my test email. So the test email is empty right now, and this is starting to process. So it has gotten the data. Now it will send the email. Just a second. Yeah. So the email is sent. If I come over here, if I refresh it, yeah, as you can see at 9:32, I received an email. So this is what RPA is and what you can do with RPA. So right now I manually initiate the RPA, but you need not to do that. You can initiate it from different sources, whether it's Flow, whether it's from MuleSoft, integration itself only, you can do that. And you would be able to utilize that. So this was the RPA one. Now I will be quickly going into and showcasing you what the IDP is. So IDP, as I mentioned, is MuleSoft capability of allowing you to extract information from documents. So we have created some actions, document actions. I will be going to the one which I have configured for the sake of this demo. So we have created this lab report data extraction, the same lab report which we used in our first use case. So I have specified 9 prompts that I'm actually trying to get from it. The 9 prompts being the age, name, bioreference, gender, result, and everything. I will open up the file. This is the file I'm using to extract the data from. And once I run it, it will fetch me the data of all those 9 fields which I have specified. It's extracting it. So behind IDP, AWS to extract is being utilized, and some other AI models as well. Yeah. So we can see the reference value and all of that information it has extracted for me. Let's say if I want to get new information, I want to get lab number. I want lab. This. I have specified what I want. So this is the prompt itself only, and this is the confidence threshold, as I mentioned. Like the confidence is basically what it believes the output is. So I have specified 80%. I will add it and I will rerun it. It will again kind of sending a query with the PDF file to the backend server, whichever they were using, AWS to extract, as I believe. And it will get the data for us. It's taking some time. Just a second. Yeah, it has actually extracted this information, lab number. So it has pulled this information from over here. So this is what AWS Extract is. AWS Extract comes with, primarily 2 templates which they have kind of created: invoice and purchase order. So most of the customers which are using MuleSoft and were looking for extracting information are from manufacturing industry or some kind of industry which involves invoice and purchase order. So they have specified for it, but we can specify for our own specific needs. As you saw in the demo, I specified and extracted the information for lab reports. So you can specify whatever you want to extract from it. Lastly, I would like to showcase what Exchange is. This is Anypoint Exchange. So there are certain, things that we have published on our own, and this is the ones which are provided by MuleSoft itself only. And these are the ones which we can use directly. And as we said earlier, there are a lot of pre-built connectors. So we do have them, and we can utilize them however we want to use them. So like, for example, financial. So this is the financial force one, MuleSoft for Accelerator for Financial Services. So I just wanted to showcase this accelerator from MuleSoft. So if you have MuleSoft and if you have purchased MuleSoft and you are trying to integrate with your business, so this accelerator has a lot of use cases which you can use directly. So you do not need to worry about all of them, and it will take care of them for you. So we have Unlock Any Core, providing the providing a customer 360 view of your customers. So all of those things it has pre-built. You just need to configure them according to your tools that you're utilizing. It will provide those kind of view for your business. So all of this we can do with the Anypoint Exchange, and there are lots and lots of other capabilities as well. And if you want, you can definitely download the presentation deck from the link, which might be showcasing somewhere here or might be in the comment section. I'm not sure, but yeah, you can definitely download it from there. So yeah, this was the demo that I wanted to kind of give. It is, I have tried to cover a lot of things which are possible from MuleSoft, but trying to cover the things which are possible from MuleSoft in this short span of time is just like touching the tip of an iceberg. There are lots and lots of things that can be done and that we can do. If you have any questions or if you have any things that you would like to ask, you can drop them on in the comment section itself only. Yeah. So I think I will be moving on to the next slide. Real world examples. So we have real world examples of successful API implementations. Just a second. Yeah. So the first up we have Splunk. So Splunk utilized MuleSoft for its ETL tool. They were having a black box and lacked visibility and required on-premise agent and process data slowly, hindering their goal of being 100% cloud platform. So they used MuleSoft, and Splunk implemented 100% cloud-based agent solution with seamless connectivity, reducing transaction processing time from minutes to seconds within 20 days. So Splunk achieved rapid scalability with 500 transactions in the first 3 months, enhanced data visibility and real-time processing, driving operational efficiency and continuous growth. So this was one example. The next one we have Airbus. So Airbus needed to transform its IT strategy to support massive growth in aircraft production, improve efficiency, and streamline the supply chain to meet increasing demands in the aviation industry. So what was the solution? They implemented MuleSoft Anypoint platform to drive digital transformation through an API-first strategy. This enabled rapid development of reusable APIs and unlocking data from legacy systems and improving operational efficiency. So in organizations as big as Airbus, there must be definitely lots and lots of reusability that might be happening, and they definitely cashed on that. By leveraging Anypoint platform, it accelerated IT project delivery by four times, reducing the time to market from months to weeks. They empowered shop floor operators with real-time mobile access to critical data, streamlined supply chain visibility, and enhanced overall manufacturing efficiency. Then we have Unilever. So for Unilever and Siemens, I would suggest you download our presentation and go through them so that you also see what and how they worked. The next up we have.
All right, we'll next start with the best practices that one needs to follow for secure APIs and integrations. And here are some. Authentication, you have to make sure that you're using OAuth 2.0 in order to set up the right, in order to solve the challenge of authentication when it comes to accessing the APIs. Then comes authorization. So define granular permissions to define the user level accesses and make sure whatever access you are providing is exactly the same access that they get in the APIs as well. Then comes standardization. You enforce security standards across all APIs to ensure uniformity. Then policy enforcement, use API gateways to ensure security policies and monitor traffic. Data encryption, encrypt data in transit and at rest to protect sensitive information. And by the way, this is the step which a lot of people just try to skip. They just use silly JSONs to transfer the data without encrypting and masking it probably. So I think one should do that. Mask or obfuscate sensitive data to prevent unauthorized access. Then comes rate limiting. Implement rate limiting to prevent abuse and ensure fair usage. Then comes inventory management. Maintain an inventory of all APIs, including those created outside the IT department, to avoid security blind spots, because you never know which shadow API can do what for you and for your applications and systems. And then you always focus on monitoring it. The APIs continuously, and if you can implement some automation tools to do that, do so. Automated testing. Use automated tools to continuously test APIs for security weaknesses. Avoid using master root accounts for integrations. Create dedicated limited privilege accounts for specific tasks. Security audits and monitoring. Conduct frequent security assessments and automated scans. Implement comprehensive logging and monitoring systems. Then comes credential management and MFA. Use secure vaults for storing API credentials and regularly rotate them. Enforce MFA for all accounts. Scope minimization. Grant only the minimum necessary scopes required for the integration. Regularly review and adjust scopes. And then comes environment segregation. Maintain distinct environments for development, testing, and production. Which is exactly what a lot of people when developing the APIs don't follow. So just do that. Use data masking for anonymization for testing environments. And then how to choose the right integration partner for your business. And you know the answer. It's us. Industry know-how. They should know like how your business functions and how your industry functions, because then only they'll be able to understand what all compliances you are under, how the business process usually go, and how to exactly implement the right implementations. Then whether they are certified professionals doing the job or not, are they tech savvy or not, do they have their niche in tailoring the integration requirements that you have. I mean, that's very important, by the way, because a lot of integration projects that we do are the most complex problems that we try to solve, but in the most creative way possible. And if you understand the word complex and creative in the right manner, yeah, that's exactly what we do. And they should have the right project management approach, and there should be post-implementation support as well. Here are some references. Now the time is for question and answers. If you have some questions, do let us know. Shall we? Okay. Let's answer this guy's question. Adarsh Duryodhan. Don't tell me your real name is Adarsh Duryodhan. How is the market condition to switch for 3+ years? I mean, yeah, there's not enough information that we have in here. Are you already a Salesforce experienced professional or a developer or a QA? Who are you? I mean, if you're a 3+ years Salesforce experienced developer, then what is your location? What exactly are you getting right now? All of these things are going to matter, but you're asking for the market conditions. They're good. I mean, if you are good enough in your job, there are always going to be jobs for you. Why we cannot use Node.js or other language to create APIs or consume other APIs? Why to use or pay for MuleSoft? Simple reason, because you do not want to write down code. You do not want to manage all of these things by your own. You want all of these things to be managed in the best possible way for your business, and for you to be focused on doing the business and creating the things which actually requires your attention to be created, rather than just focusing on to creating anything and everything by your own. Abhay Pratap Singh, yeah, do you want to add something, Vishit?
Yeah, so like you don't want to, invest your time only onto managing the application. You want to make sure it's secure, it's following the right policies, it's under the right governance and right compliance as well. So you should be looking at MuleSoft for that. You can any which way write, any code, because what MuleSoft is doing is also code internally. But what's the need for it is like it helps making sure you are compliant and you're not wasting your time in that.
Next question is, can we integrate Salesforce with any other IDE, not Dev Console, VS Code, where we can write code in Apex, basically trigger and test in org? Why do you want to do that even? I mean, VS Code works perfectly. Abhay, still, do you have any answer for that?
You could use, there are some other tools. There are some Chrome extensions which allows you to do that. One of them was metadata connector or something like that. You could use that, but again, they're not that secure.
There's no need, right?
Yeah, you should use VS Code. Like, yeah, you're reinventing the wheel. VS Code was made because of this itself only.
Amazing explanation of MuleSoft. Thanks. Sweet Das Ram. How to start and where to start from learning MuleSoft? Which resources good to learn? Please reply me. It's an important one.
Yeah, Trailhead is the right place, and MuleSoft has a really, really great community. When you mentioned like MuleSoft has so many things and it is providing a lot of things. One thing which is keeping it separate or apart from its competitors, whether it's Dell Boomi or whatever it is it has a really great community. And
see, anybody who started with an open source project and later got converted into such big giant cannot do it so well without having a great community.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it is. So
you should look into the community and you should be a part of that, and they would really, really help you a lot.
Yeah, that's what one needs to do. How case directly got created? The other health site is which cloud?
Okay. So health site is developer edition that we are utilizing. The case got created in the health cloud. How it got created is, as soon as a case is created, a trigger is called. When I say trigger, it's basically inside MuleSoft. An action got fired, and in that action, we simply took that data and we created a record in new Salesforce environment. We have a Salesforce connector. So we have two Salesforce connector, one for the core one, another one for the health cloud one. So we created a record in the health cloud one using that. A bank on the SF cloud is having their own servers and I'm using REST API there. How can MuleSoft help here? So if the bank has their own servers and SF cloud is having, they're using SF cloud, REST API you are utilizing, see, there is no issue in you using your REST API for doing the integration. As long as you are taking care of all the things, when I say all the things, or the authorization, the unwanted access, you are making sure the APIs that you are writing or the code that you are writing is standardized, and you don't have to worry about the compliance. Then in that scenario, you really do not need MuleSoft. You can go without it as well. But if you want all of those things, if you want a platform which is secure, which is compliant, which is making sure the APIs that you are writing are performing well and they are doing well, then you would be looking at MuleSoft. So if you have a bank and they have their own servers, how are you managing and how are you monitoring their APIs performance? So if you don't have a way of doing that, then you need MuleSoft. MuleSoft will sit there and have their gateway utilized. Either you bring all the APIs inside MuleSoft or you use Flex Gateway and you have a monitoring on top of it, which allows you to see how well your APIs are performing, how your error handling is, how you are utilizing your usage-based policies and everything. So this is where MuleSoft can help your bank utilize the most out of the APIs. You having your own REST API or REST server is not going to be the right solution. You need a way where you are able to monitor it, where you are able to enforce certain governance and compliance related regulations on top of it.
I was thinking MuleSoft, no, it's of course it's way more than that.
Yeah, MuleSoft is way more than that.
A lot of people think that it is, but it's way more than that.
So if you go and if you have downloaded the presentation deck, if you go and look at the diagram, there was 3 sections. The first one was the integration, the second was one API management, and the third one was automation. So the API management one is the place where you would benefit the most if you are working for a bank and they have their own APIs, they have their own REST server. So they would make the most out of it from there.
Hi Shreya and Vijay, thank you both for this. Thanks a lot. If you have also OCR means
optical character recognition. So it's a way where you actually read a text from the image or from any kind of file.
Okay. Thanks for the great session. Thank you. And we're done. Thank you so much, guys, for being a part of this show. We thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes.
Or partially enjoyed it, but we did. For more such questions, feel free to get connected with us. Here is the slide here is a way how you can connect with us and ask questions related to whatever you have. See you in the next one. Till then, do you have anything to say?
No. That's all.
See you in the next one. Thank you so much for being an amazing audience. See you in the next one. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.